It is 6 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. A blessed and beautiful one to you and yours. To the team that was, a big thank you has to go out to Tshepiso Makwetla and the Africa World Hour team. Catch them tomorrow between 9 and 10 p.m. Central African time for the latest in news happening in and across the various continents. Listen, Shayla here with you for the next 2 hours as we scribe in our diaries. And today is going to be rather interesting. We are stepping into the world of relationships. So I'm going to start off with a public service announcement. Parents, it is time for you to put your babies to bed. Playtime is over. Okay? We want to take the little ones and we want to put them in their room and we want to make sure that the lights are switched off and that they're sleeping. Because the conversations that come your way are much suited for adults. We kickstart off with looking at the world of dating. Now, when couples are constantly looking for ways to reignite and spark their love interest within each other, we have to be honest and say that intentional communication and shared rituals play a unique role. Something that we have seen popular in society is date nights. Africa's love scene is evolving too. Now, gone are the days of dinner and a movie. Today, couples are embracing curated experiences, stargazing picnics under the African skies, cultural tours, outdoor adventures, and farm-to-table dining, which I would love to experience. It's all about connection, creativity, and crafting memories that feel like personal, intimate, and honestly alive experiences. Now, to kickstart off that particular conversation, we will be joined by Scott Villa, the founder of Brunch on Sunday. And that is what we have for you in the very first hour. Then in the second hour of the show, we touch base with Nikki Patelli, a professional sex coach dedicated to helping individuals and couples navigate intimacy, desire, and connection. Now, from heart-pounding adventures to playful experiments, we'll explore the fascinating psychology behind adrenaline and attraction. Can shared excitement reignite passion in a long-term relationship? Do couples who dare together really, truly stay together? That conversation comes in the second hour of the show. We'd love to hear from you this evening. Do find us on WhatsApp, +27 634069126, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, at Channel Africa 1 for the live stream. Please do find us on at Channel Africa. And that's what you insert when you are on YouTube. It is 9 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time.
Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has been charged with incitement to terrorism and disobedience. He faces a total of 5 charges. The charges relate to post-election violence that left hundreds of people dead. What punishment is he looking at?
The most severe charges are 2. One is incitement for terrorism, and also is being charged for mobilizing people for terrorism during the protests. These charges are really serious and severe. If he is condemned, is found guilty, he could serve 10 years plus years in jail, meaning that he would be banned from political participation, mainly for the 2028 and 2029 electoral cycle.
The director of CDD, the Center for Democracy and Development, Adriano Novunga.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African time.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Amajita are through to the knockout round of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Be with us this Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central African Time as South Africa's Under-20 face Colombia, streaming live on SABC Plus. And there is more. Other Under-20 World Cup matches are streaming live on SABC Plus with selected fixtures on SABC Sport Channel and SABC One. Wave the flag, Mzansi. Stand up for Amajita. FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Amajita coverage on SABC Plus, powered by SABC Sport.
Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana.
Military touch.
Channel Africa, where every moment is an African celebration. Feel the energy. Feel the connection. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Toto, kati ya buto na kotilola ngisi nanga nyoso pesilie nazali kopepa likolo ya punda nzoto pembeni nanga ekoseka tongo etani ngai na kati ya bwale sokande nyoso wana ezalaki sendoto Esandoto kanalelie yo me amo oh oh Esandoto kanalelie yo me amo amo pasiele kie Kotizamba ela koyandoto ezande bozoba okomitungisa manyo sose pamba boba kasina yona mulimo elekie tongo etani ngaina kati abwale chokane yoso wana ezana kisendoto miwamo
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, many gist. Oh, I still find my peace in all that. Oh, but they do like say me, I know they see. Like say I know the year. Which kind person be this? Oh, waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, and like I hate Genesis. I be dealing with enemies. Survivor, me unique. Money chaser, faster than a bullet, flying like a rocket. Bad man we never rest. King of South and the West, faster than a car. On fait banissa, faster than a benzo. You below level so. Bad vibes on the ground. Reading my psalm, I'm so biblical. I hate to look at down them to nigga. They won't say your nigga. They want to turn your teacher before you are my nigga, oh my nigga. You go there when I no get ginger. Oh my nigga, say you go there when I no get rubber. Cause my mama be praying for me, say make I get it. Oh my baby, say you go there before my suru lady. Oh, waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, many gist. I still find my peace. Oh, you do like say me, I know they see. Like say I know they hear. Which kind person be this? Oh, waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, like I hate Genesis. I be dealing with frenemies. Survivor, me unique, money chaser, faster than a bullet, flying like a rocket. Bad man we never rest. King of South and the West, faster than a car. One feber missa, faster than a benzo. Chepulole so bad vibes on the ground. Reading myself, I'm so biblical. I hate to look at them, want them to make. They won't say your nigga. They want to turn your teacher. Before you are my oh my nigga. You go there when I no get ginger. Oh my nigga, say you go there when I no get rubber. Cause my mama be praying for me, say make I get it. Oh my baby, say you go there before my suru lady.
Mo Bad with this one titled Peace. Before that, Lokua Kanza keeping us in Central Africa with Mio Amor. And then kickstarting off the triple play, we had Jar Praiser with My Lily alongside Davido. If you've just joined us, a blessed and beautiful evening to you and yours this here 8th of October. 2025. Welcome to African Diaries. The name is Shayla Ndikumana, and we are about to get into the recap. Now, the recap is a feature where we allow you to sort of get a hint, a taste, if you will, whet your appetite for some of the conversations hosted on this platform called Channel Africa, where we definitely pride ourselves in giving you that African perspective. We kickstart off with the Rise and Shine team, where Dr. Nicoline Dahan, Director of Cigar Gender Impact Platform, joined Asanda Beta to unpack key moments from day 2 of the Cigar Gender Conference in Cape Town.
What are some of the key discussions or insights that have emerged from it so far?
The conference is basically set up to talk about gender issues in agriculture, because we do know, and research has shown, and it's a research conference, research has shown that, women often don't have as much access to information, to extension service, to land, to seeds, all those things in agriculture. So we're a group of researchers who try to figure out some of those evidence gaps, but also to try to make things visible. About 20 years ago, a lot of agriculture, you would think it's only about men. And we've been working to make sure that women become visible in that space and that they can actually have a voice, so that they have a voice in what sort of agricultural system they want and are able to access all the technologies to make it better. So those are the type of things that are being discussed.
Keeping things on the move, Balsatao and Benjamin Mshatama had quite an interesting conversation on their show. Let's have a listen to this audio clip.
We're exploring how couples can navigate this invisible shift of serious illness within a relationship. Well, joining us in today's conversation is Philip Magliolo, who's the founder of Big Heart Carers, a professional caregivers, and Dr. Kitumet Mashiro, a clinical psychologist and friend here of On the Move, to help us unpack this. Thank you both for joining us. But I'm going to start with you, Philip. Thank you and good morning. Let's speak about this, right? You are professional caregivers. And one thing that I'm sure that you know for sure is that caregiving isn't an easy thing. And it's really not for the everyday and average person. So when the shift comes into a relationship, the caregiving role should be one of the hardest of them all, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Good morning to everybody. Yeah, in my opinion, when there's a serious illness, it crops up, where there's a test, a doctor's test, or a scan, or whatever. Um, it, it affects the physical in the person that's been scanned. It affects the independence. I mean, the daily tasks are gone because it throws everything into turmoil. I mean, feelings of frustration and helplessness, as well. They don't know what to do. So they can Google the illness, but the emotional part of it affects everybody.
Dr. Kitumetse, this is really, a staggering experience for anyone to go through. Nobody who goes to the doctor for maybe something they might be feeling, maybe something they think might be small, and is told serious news of a big diagnosis can change your entire life. There's two dimensions to this response, right? The response of the person who's been given the diagnosis and the response of both of them who are in the relationship. But let's speak about that. What are the first changes that we can start seeing if one partner has been diagnosed with something serious?
Definitely, with such news, and good day to everyone. When you get such news, you start with a lot of denial. There can be a lot of, grieving process, basically, and the one who is diagnosed might have to grieve their lives before they were diagnosed, before they were, held the hand that they were given, but also the person watching this, their partner, would also need to start grieving, the reality that the person will never be the same.
And on Africa Update Ask, as 6 South African activists detained by Israeli forces during a humanitarian mission to Gaza return home, Channel Africa's Michael Mbewe was live at the OR Tambo International Airport with the latest.
Lulu. From the visuals that we saw on our screens, there seemed to have been a number of people that had come out to support, the 6 activists, African activists who returned home.
Quite correct, Lulu. This morning we witnessed, the arrival of Dr. Fatima Hendricks, Mandla Mandela, Riaz Mula, Kerry Shelva, Dr. Zahira Suma, and Zukiswa Vanna. These are the members or activists coming from South Africa who were the group, part of the group of the Flotilla global, movement, which was going to the Gaza to deliver some aid. With what is happening on the ground, with Israel committing genocide. But just as you said, Lulu, when they walked out of, the aisles of the OR Tambo International Airport and then appearing in front of the people, they were greeted by a handful, people there coming from all corners of life in South Africa. You had Indian people, you have white people, you had also black people who really showed solidarity to these members who looked, in good spirit, that they are happy to be welcomed home by those who love them, but also those who are in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Lulu.
What do they have to say about their mission?
Well, Lulu, the ordeals they expressed are very shocking. To see how they were treated. They say that they were tied to cable ties from behind. Some women within the group were stripped naked. I'm sorry to our listeners who are very sensitive. More especially the women were stripped naked by female, immigration officers of Israel, just to find out what they have, and being accused of supporting, Hamas, who.
And on the upside, Matsheko Mosito and Tebohole Kuleni caught up with Nicole Lee Watson, Head of Marketing and Communications at City Polo, to talk about Africa Cup 2025, the clash of African polo titans, coming up on on the 19th of October at Johannesburg's iconic Inanda Polo Club.
No, this is a basic question. But how does polo work? I'm so sorry, but I have to ask. I've never been to a polo match. I don't know what to expect. I hear it being used around. I've seen pictures and videos, mostly of the fashion of the day more than the actual sport. So polo as a sport, how does it work?
Okay, so I love this because this is essentially why we are saying come to the Clash of the Titans on the 19th of October here at Inanda, because you are going to find out that the polo game is in, like you would say, halves, right? So if we mirror the sport to soccer, there are 6 halves called chukkers.
Okay.
CHUKKA. So those are chukkers. Each chukker is played in 6-minute intervals, and depending on the handicap of the team or the goal of the team. So some polo matches are 4 goal, some are 8 goal, and that depends on essentially the tournament. So you play polo with a polo pony and a mallet. So the mallet is what looks like your hockey stick, right? And you are essentially, so the colloquial description of it is horse hockey. So
And here I was learning. Listen, I'm going to go and need, or rather, I'm going to need to go and watch that particular conversation with Mateko Musito and Tebohole Kulweni as they spoke to Nicole De Watson, Head of Marketing and Communications at City Polo. This concerning Africa Cup 2025, the clash of the African Polo Titans. Lastly, Africa in Business had an opportunity to look at the reality that over 57 billion has already been withdrawn from the South Africa's 2-pot retirement system in just over a year. Tami Ngubeni spoke with Liberty's John Taylor to unpack what this means for savers.
Owned by an insurance company, Liberty has found that many of the withdrawal claims were used to, perhaps unsurprisingly, pay off debt and cover education costs. For more on this, we joined on the line by John Taylor, who's Head of Corporate Benefits Consulting at Liberty. John, good to have you with us. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Thank you so much for having me, Tommy.
So are these results surprising? My colleagues and I were actually just having a chat about this earlier on and asking, if you had withdrawn those funds, what would you have used them for? The fact that many were using them to pay off debts and to pay off education, loans, etc. Was this surprising for you?
I don't think it's too surprising that that's where some of the money went. I think I'm heartened by the fact that that seems to be where a lot of the money did flow towards. It's difficult to know with because it wasn't a requirement for anybody making a savings plan to submit a reason for it. But we are heartened by the fact that it seems to be the general trend where people said they were spending the money.
For these and more stories, visit channelafrica.co.za or find Channel Africa on YouTube and Facebook. Stay connected in real time. Follow at Channel Africa 1 on X, Instagram, and TikTok.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
It is 35 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. If you have just joined us, thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. This is African Diaries, Shayla Ndikumana, and we've got fairly an hour and 25 minutes together. Without wasting any time, it's time for us to scribe in our diary, and today we are doing it in plain old English. So here we go. Dear African Diary.
African.
If you were to give me a couple of pieces of simple advice on how to keep desire high in my relationship, what would you say?
I would say kiss more. Kiss for kissing's sake. Kissing often falls off the agenda in long-term relationships. The number of times I see that with couples I'm working with who've been together decades, they only kiss as part of sex or as an initiation of sex. So kissing is a great way of triggering desire. It's also a great way of getting our sexual needs met. So that would be one. The second would be you have to make time to schedule physical intimacy of some type, because remember that desire is triggered by that kind of sexual stimuli, whether it's getting naked on the couch and watching a film together that, has got good sex scenes in it, whether it's massage, whether it's the bath, whether it's some kind of date night that involves use of your bodies. Without that, there are no triggers to your desire. So you're just kind of waiting to feel it. The third is understand how desire works. It's drastically different than what you've been sold. And you're normal if you struggle to get in the headspace sometimes.
That audio clip, courtesy of Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett, and that addressing intimacy, the necessity for us to continuously reignite our passion, our tangible physical love for each other. Again, I must urge, parents, take the babies to bed. It is time for adults to be adult, because the next two conversations are primarily for the adult mind. And so with that being said, coming up next, we are going to be talking about ways to spark an interest again in your partner. I mean, we've seen the rise of date nights across the continent. We've seen people want to do adventurous things in order to further establish their bonds with each other. And so we're going to be looking at ideas. If you're sitting there and you're saying, Shayla, listen, me and my partner have been together for 7 years, and everything feels repetitive, okay? On Friday, we go eat at place X, we come back home, then it's time for the sheets, then we wake up, and then we do our weekending, and then we get back into work. If that's how you feel, you want to stick around for the next conversation.
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Yeah, my eyes right over. So many things I don't know. I don't smoke, but I could have really rolled one. I know they fake, keep it 100. True to myself, never fear no one. Only Jaja, now my companion. I focus and I stack my money up. Money to stop all nonsense. No come from on me. Cause I know be your mate. And it be glad to see the level they too loud. No fit to handle me. And then my eye know they like sitting way good. Nobody love you like you do, that's why. And I sit for the pain. Never go be there, never go be there, never go be the same. And I sit for the pain. You never go be there, never go be there, never go be the same. Yeah. I've been getting lost in a bottle, drowning out the pain till tomorrow. We shed a couple tears for the ones that we lost on the way. Say a prayer for the ones who remain. Cause when life cuts, it cuts you deep. You try but you still can't sleep. You right wrongs, you don't get even. The damage is slowly starts to fade. We start again. Only wise men will eyes dry over. So if you show me love, me, I go show you love. If you there for me, no say I there for you. Me, I there protect my energy. Good vibes, only thing I need. No come from on me. Cause I know be your mate. And you be glad to see the level they too loud. No fit to handle me. And then my eye know they like sitting way good. Nobody love you like you do, that's why. Energy for the pain. You never gon' be there, never gon' be there, never gon' be the same. Energy for the pain. You never gon' be there, never gon' be there, never gon' be the same.
Nkhanza zokhudza amuna ndi azimayi kapena kuti gender-based violence GBV zikuwononga mioyo komanso kuphwasula midzi. Zikuchitika m'manyumba, m'masukulu, malo ogwirira ntchito ndipo kwambiri mwakachetechete. Koma sizikuyenera kupitirira. Mukazimva yankhulani. ngati mwakuzidwa funani chithandizo chifukwa kusachita chilichonse sikuthandiza. Mverani kuma wireless onse 14 a SABC kuchokera lachitatu pa 23 mwezi uno wa Julai kuti mumve zokambirana, malangizo, masewero, zionesero za maphunziro ndi mafunso okhuza nkhanza za amuna ndi azimayi ndi akatswiri, anthu opulumuka ku nkhanzazi, kukhazikitsa lamulo komanso dziko lonse lokhuzidwa ndi nkhanzazi. Zonsezi pa wireless yomwe mumayikonda ya SABC. Imbirani pa nambala 0800 428 428 kuti munene za nkhanzazi kapena kupeza chithandizo. Nkhanza zokhuza amuna ndi azimayi zimatha ndi inu. Uthenga ukufikani kuchokera ku SABC.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Trips all the way to Ghana with King Promise, that one titled Eyes Dried Over, alongside Tom Walker. It is 18 minutes before 11 p.m. Central African time. A blessed and beautiful one to you and yours. Welcome to African Diaries. Time for our very first conversation. Now, in a world where couples are constantly looking for ways to reignite the spark, from intentional communication and shared rituals to unique date nights, Africa's love scene is evolving too. Now, gone are the days of dinners and movies. Tell me something. Are you not tired of that? Are you not tired of going to that very same theater, watching a movie that you both know that you won't necessarily enjoy, but for the sake of date night, that's what you're going to do? And then going to that very same restaurant and sitting at that very same table with the very same waiters and waitresses that serve you. Are you not tired? Because things are changing, and I'd love to introduce you to that end. Today's couples are embracing curated experiences, stargazing picnics under African skies, cultural tours, outdoor adventures, farm-to-table dining. You name it, Africans are ready to try it. Now, it's all about connection, creativity, and crafting memories that feel very personal, intimate, and alive. Now, to kickstart off this particular conversation tonight, we are joined by Scott Villa, the co-founder of Brunch on Sunday, one of the exciting brands redefining how we can experience love, lifestyle, and connection through curated social events. Mr. Scott, good evening. Welcome to African Diaries. Mr. Scott, are you with us? As we try and get Mr. Scott back on the line, we'd love to hear from you this evening. In actual fact, let me turn the convo to you, because you and I are having a conversation as well. What do you get up to? If you're saying, Shayla, listen, that's not me. I don't do the movie night, the Friday movie night, and then pizza afterward. Or I don't do the movie night and then restaurant that everybody goes to. You know, I'm not the regular kind of person, Shayla. Tell me, what do you do? How are you reigniting that love between you and yours? Find me on WhatsApp +276340692126. I'm going to give you a moment to send through your voice note. I don't want text messages. I don't want peace. I want violence. Okay? Send through a voice note +276340692126. Let's get some music.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Raisi Yoweri Kaguta Museveni amezindua ilani ya chama tawala cha NRM ya kuanzia mwaka 2026 mpaka mwaka 2031. Taarifa hii ikoje?
Kweli kabisa, Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni muda mchache uliopita aliweza kuhutubia mkutano ambao uliohusisha wanachama wa Kongo na hali kadhalika wanachama waandamizi wa chama tawala cha NRM, yani National Resistance Movement.
Na katika kuzindua hiyo ilani yake ya chama tawala, pengine wana Uganda wamekuwa wana yapi ya kusema? Hisia zao zinaeleza nini haswa?
Kuna hisia tofauti. Kuna wale ambao wanamuunga mkono, wanaunga kauli ya Rais Museveni, lakini kuna wale ambao wanasema kwamba amekuwa akirudia mara kwa mara hayo matamshi.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Tell moya kubantwana bakho njengokuba wenzile nakimi onomono magayeka wanamona magayeka
Shout out to my family and my man them. To the ones where they sing my song and the ones that dance along. From Lagos, Nigeria down to South Africa. With the big, I want them in bachelor. No wahala, I get the money for wahala. On my prayers answer, I go celebrate and dance.
Yeah,
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa One. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa One. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126, and we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views, share your opinion, engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, The African Perspective. African Diaries. Weekdays, 10 till midnight.
It is 9 minutes before 11 p.m. Central African time. A blessed and beautiful one to you and yours. Time for us to get into that very first conversation that will give us insights into better curated experiences for couples looking to reignite, reestablish, or maybe just grow their bonds even stronger. We are shifting away from the days where the mundane was practiced and we're becoming more creative. Stargazing is one of those features. Date nights are one of those features. And joining us this evening is none other than Scott Villa, the co-founder of Brunch on Sunday, one of the exciting brands redefining how we experience love, lifestyle, and connection through curated events. Scott, are you with us this evening? I believe we are still trying to get a hold of Scott this evening. What we will do is take your commentary because we'd love to hear from you. Listen, I'm all for ideas because when my time to shine comes, I want to be prepared. If you are like me, you're saying, Shayla, listen, right now, currently, there isn't any leeway for that kind of thinking. However, when my time does come, I'd love to be ready. Find me on WhatsApp, send through a voice note. I'd love to hear what your creative ideas are. Perhaps you've been in a relationship for quite some time and you're saying, we have done amazing things. What are those amazing things and why aren't you telling us? Don't be like the people that gatekeep on social media, particularly on TikTok. Let's not go there. Point being, share your ideas with us. We too want to be in love, fruitfully so. +27 6340 69126. For now, some more music.
Love music, love culture, love life. Because you on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Every day I'm singing Hosanna. I just found an angel, Hosanna. She got the dirty people, pretty Hosanna. Girl, you got me singing Hosanna. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. Oh, baby more. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. You know I'm so loyal,
Can't you see that I lose my focus when I just found my way to you? Anytime when you hear my coco, tell me what you gonna do. You should run to me. I'm on set, I wanna book a shape you. It is troubling me. I'm so scared I'm gonna lose my baby. Keep some trust for me. I know be that type of fake where man. I go fight for thee. Do anything to keep you, my baby. Consider pick check out my hope. You know, go live for me to a man when somebody go give you flower shape. You know, go live for me. Go. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. Oh, baby more. You know I'm so loyal, baby more. You know I'm so loyal.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sorry. I like a rainy boy, yes.
tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa. pazoshitika. Madapiri pazoshitika.
mafuta galimoto akwera mtengo mudziko la Malawi ndipo nkhaniyi anthu ayilandira mosiyanasiyana ndipo mtolankhani nzathu mudziko la Malawi Kondwani Nyamasauka tili naye pa laini pano kuti atifotokozere zambiri. Kondwani, kodi uli bwanji? Mafuta galimoto kodi akwera kufika pa bwanji?
Mafuta galimoto akwera amene tuyankhula pano kukambonena kuti usiku wathawu petrol wakwera kuchokera pa 2,530 kwacha kukafika pa 3,499 kwacha. Koma nkhani ya mapercentage ndi 38.30%, pamene diesel wachoka pa 2,734 kwacha kukafika pa 3,500 kwacha, yomwe ikuyimira kuma percentage 28.02%.
Zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madapiri.
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
It is 5 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. The triple treat there, ending us off. Malik and Ringo with Mtuli said before that. Tiwa Savage and Brandy rightfully stating that one day, someday, somebody's son is going to love them. That song titled Somebody's Son. And then kick-starting off the triple play, we had Chella with Loyal. All of these alluding to romantic relationships. That's what we focus on a Wednesday. If you've just joined us, welcome to it. African Diaries is the name of the show. I am Shayla Ndikumana, and I've got you for the next hour. 55 minutes if we are to be precise. We are still going to be giving you those date ideas. We are still going to be having conversation and just analyzing the relationship between adrenaline and attraction. Sometimes we think adrenaline, love, right? We want to assume that these deep intrinsic feelings are the reason we are attracted to a particular individual, when maybe it's just that adrenaline rush, the excitement of meeting someone new. And what does this then mean in the context of intimacy and relationships? That conversation comes your way in a short bit, and we will be speaking to Nikki Patelli, who's going to help us understand those scientific relationships, how these fester into our everyday practice, how we can be cognizant of what it is that is attracting us towards someone, and how we can, maximize on these feelings that we have, I suppose. That conversation comes your way. If we do have time, I will squeeze in a quiz. I'd love to hear from you this evening. Yes, the quiz is with you, in actual fact. So do find me on WhatsApp. Send through a text message. Let's start off with you telling me a date idea. What is an idea for you that you think, if this had to happen between myself and my partner, or myself and a potential partner, I would be over the moon, Shayla? That's what I want. I want you to mentally experience you jumping over the moon. Woo! That's what I want. +27 6340 69126. It's back into the music.
Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They're all on African Diaries.
Sivulele, ingasivaleli ngaphandle. Nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life. Konko. Sivulele, ingasivaleli ngaphandle. Nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life. Konko. Sivulele, ingasivaleli ngaphandle. Nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life. Konko. Sivulele, ingasivaleli ngaphandle. Nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life. Masihlale phansi sicobelelane ngolwazi esinalo. Silekelelane, kumele impilo ibe njalo. Oh please. Uma kufeswa ngifisa ukuphila impilo engcono ngivulele ngicela ungivulele konkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life Cela ningiphathe man hey uma nilibangise kwanhliziyo ngise bathi ubumnandi abupheli Ngicela ningiphathe man hey uma nishawa umoya ningabi nonyama kholwa Wow sawoza mngani sibonge impilo kulesi sikhathi sitshekethule njengamathole ungangishi nice life Wow sawoza mngani sibonge impilo kulesi sikhathi sitshekethule njengamathole ungangishi nice life konkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life konkonkonko sivulele ingasivaleli ngaphandle nathi sifuna ukuphila i-soft life
Nomfundo Mo with that one titled Soft Life, something that I believe that everybody desires. This is why we're working hard, right? Yes, no, maybe. 11 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. Listen, I'm here to tell you that Amajita are through to the knockout round of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Now be with us right now. It is Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Central African time, and of course following throughout the match as South Africa's Under-20s face Colombia, streaming live if you wanted to know on SABC Plus. There is more. Other Under-20 World Cup matches are streaming on SABC Plus with selected fixtures on SABC Sport and SABC One. Wave the flag, Mzansi, right now. Stand up for Amajita. FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Amajita coverage on SABC Plus, powered by SABC Sport.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
It is 12 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time, and it's time for us to get into our conversation set for this hour. Question to you this evening. What do you think the relationship between adrenaline and attraction is? Have you ever thought of that? Interestingly enough, I had a conversation with my producer, and she was saying to me, Shayla, adrenaline means fight or flight or freeze. Okay? This is a life-dependent, critical state. How can you tell me that factors in attraction? Well, tonight we are joined by Nikki Brivik, who is a professional sex coach dedicated to helping individuals and couples navigate intimacy, desire, and connection. Now, from heart-pounding adventures to playful experiments, we will explore the fascinating psychology behind adrenaline and attraction. Can shared excitement reignite passion in a long-term relationship? Do couples who dare together truly stay together? Nikki is going to be answering these and so much more. Nikki, join us on the line this evening. Welcome to African Diaries. Oh, Nikki, we are losing you there. If you could just come again, let's test that line. How are you doing?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Fantastic. That's much, much better. Let's just get straight into it. I want to gauge the science. Yes? Now, how
Yes.
true is it that adrenaline and sexual arousal are linked?
Okay, well, it's absolutely. I can hear a repeat of myself. Can you?
No, ma'am. In actual
Okay,
fact,
perfect.
you can't. Are we good now
Okay.
on your end?
As long as you can hear me, that's fine. So I love this topic because so many couples lose a spark, not from a lack of love, but from falling into routine. And the truth is, what you've hit on is that adrenaline and sexual arousal are very closely linked because they activate that same part of the nervous system, the one that gets your heart racing, your pupils dilating, your breath quickening. It's the exact same biological cocktail we feel when we're turned on. And so your body can confuse desire and fear. So when we do something exciting, whether it's hiking a new trail or going for a cold water dip or even public speaking, being on the radio, watching a scary movie, you start associating that thrill with your partner, and it reignites that chemistry between you.
Nikki, that's so fascinating. And I'm saying this because you just said our brains can confuse fear and desire. Is this why we have people who identify as adrenaline junkies? Is that perhaps something, does that have any correlation to the statement?
Yeah, I would think it does. You know, people live to feel alive. You know, I think that's what we want, and I think that's what sex can give you, is this aliveness. If we can reignite erotic energy that we feel at the beginning of a relationship, you know, that's kind of what we all strive for. But the problem is that at the very beginning of a relationship, you've got this absolute cocktail of neurochemicals flooding through your body, which you can't recreate once you are in a long-term relationship. So how can you do that? Well, that's almost trick your body. Add a bit of novelty. It doesn't have to be major adrenaline. You don't have to go bungee jumping or skydiving every time. But how can you give a little bit of dopamine going? You know, that the reward system, that feel-good hormones that we need. And the way in which we do that is to allow for novelty. Because remember, we thrive, humans thrive on excitement and adventure and novelty and variety. And unfortunately, often in long-term relationships, we forget about that. And I often say, you know, love is a place we kind of fall into, and it's that safety. You feel connected, you feel close. It's like tracksuit pants, but tracksuit pants are not sexy. So desire is more like a landscape that we kind of need to constantly navigate. And if you navigate that landscape together, where you're constantly exploring new paths, it will ensure that you kind of keep yourself in love. So think of desire as that excitement that you need, that erotic energy, that aliveness, that excitement that makes you look irresistible to each other. That's what we have to work at. And unfortunately, we think that it's because we're in love, we don't need to work at desire, but you do.
That's really interesting, Nikki. I want to gauge, does this novelty have to be between my partner and I? And I'm asking because excitement can come from all places. So is it my state of excitement, or is it our joint state of excitement that reconnects us to each other?
I love that question. I think the reality is it's both. So, you know, one way is never going to give you the answer. So go out with the girls, you know, have a fun night. See your partner from across the crowded room and remember what you found attractive about them. Flirt with a bartender and remember how good you are, and come back and bring that into the bedroom, that attitude together. Or you can do things together. So have a date night, but not just dinner and a movie. Do things that are great fun that you used to do when you first met, when you actually used to prepare and think about how you could have a fun date that would end up in having hot sex. When you look at the beginning of a relationship, we work at those dates that we have. So what could you do? Can you go hike together, dance together? Do something that isn't just, do something that gets you both nervous, giggling nervously, karaoke, paddle boarding, something you're both bad at, a pottery class. Because it gives you this shared connection, this newness, something to discover together. But you could also go on your own if that's not up your partner's alley, and then come back and you bring this freshness, this breath of fresh air into your relationship. And you can say, guess what I did today? Guess what I did tonight? You have a fresh conversation. It's not like knowing the end of the story before you've even got there.
Nikki, I want us to explore two facets to this conversation.
Yes.
Right. One is my partner and I engaging in activities that we're perhaps not too familiar with, we're both bad at, and I think that's tangible, right? For everybody,
Yes.
If you say you and your partner should explore, it's just a matter of communication, conversation, and intention.
Yes.
What's more interesting to me is you doing stuff alone. And you gave an example. You said, go flirt with a bartender and then bring that excitement and energy back home, which can tilt towards bringing animosity between you and your partner. So when do we know how to draw this fine line between the search for adrenaline, especially when we're seeking it for ourselves, to take back home, and you not overlapsing into something that wouldn't be beneficial for the relationship?
Yes. Okay. So obviously, you obviously picked up on the one kind of edgy thing I gave, but I think the reality is what I'm trying to say is if you are in a long-term relationship and you want to take the monotony out of monogamy and for it to really work, I think we need to, I know this is going to be a little bit out there, but interpret our no's more narrowly. So really, when I say flirting with a bartender, I'm not really kind of saying I'm not trying to cross an edge, but it's okay to think other people are attractive. It's okay to be out with your friends and giggle and laugh.
Yeah.
You aren't owned by another person. You still are your own individual. So I'm not suggesting that you go and kind of break your bonds of monogamy, but on the other hand, you can still kind of enjoy who you are and remember who you are before you became a partnership, and bring that into the partnership. And it's a little bit like the art on the walls. We often get so used to seeing the art in our house that we forget to see it.
Sure.
And so it's almost important to kind of see yourself and your partner with fresh eyes. Like I know with myself, I love to see my husband. Sometimes we go out at like a party, and I'll try not to talk to him the whole night because I love to see him mingling and chatting. And I kind of see what I fell in love with 26 years ago because I'm seeing him like the other people talking to him see him. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say is when I say flirt with a bartender, let them see you as an interesting person. Other people think you're interesting, and you come home and you are interesting. So I'm not trying to say you have to cross a line. I'm more kind of just saying, let's open up our minds. Let's be the person we want to be so we can bring that energy into the home without just, so I move away from that tracksuit pants and kind of put on high heels sometimes.
Come on, Nick. I am with you 110%. The voice there of sex coach and relationship expert. This is Nikki Brevik. Nikki, how do we pronounce your surname? I have been staring at that 6-letter surname for quite some time. And I've been...
Brevik.
Brevik.
But my brand is actually Ask Nikki. Because I love people to ask me questions. You know, I'm trying to kind of open up the conversation around sex. I want to help people rekindle connection, upgrade your sex life, you upgrade your whole life. You know, that's kind of my passion. Inspire people, empower people to kind of have the best sex life you can possibly have. Because when you have a great sex life, you have a great life, and vice versa. It's like this pleasure loop of satisfaction.
The voice there again, and she's saying, listen, if you want to ask Nikki, now is the time. Find us on WhatsApp, +27 634069126. Moreover, you can head over to her website, asknikki.co.za, and engage and interact with her, specific to relationships and, of course, the practice of sex. Listen, you and your partner want to strengthen those bonds, your intimacy, your relationship beyond you being good to one another everywhere else. This is the platform for you to head over to and engage with. Yes,
and
Nikki.
if you follow me on Instagram, it's ask.nikki, Nicki. I give lots of tips and tricks, and I kind of, is it normal? I tell you that, spoiler alert, it probably is. You know, I give Spice Up Saturdays, ideas to spice things up. So go onto my Instagram and get lots of ideas and hopefully heat up your sex life and your whole life.
Nikki, let's talk about that balance, right?
Yes.
A lot of people think that they have great sex. They are comfortable. They're saying, listen, we reach the end and everybody's smiling. But because it's repetitive, like you said, you see this painting on your wall and it was beautiful at first. The first 5 years, it was immaculate. And then 15 years down the line, you're like, yeah, that one painted it and it came from wherever. And so for people who are thinking to themselves, it doesn't feel like anything is wrong with intimacy. However, I'm just bored by it or I'm not enjoying it anymore. What would you suggest is the issue? Is it familiarity? Is it the fact that there isn't that spark? Are there other factors that we're maybe not cognizant of as well?
Yeah, I think the reality is that we don't put in the work required. Anything that is worth anything takes work. So if you want to kind of bring this excitement into your life, you have to focus on it. Intimacy is an important aspect of your life. Then you need to kind of schedule it in. And also change things up. Now, it doesn't have to be a massive change. You know, I often say swap sides of the bed. Put your feet where your head should be. Have sex in another room. Just those little changes reap massive relationship dividends. And just kind of changing any kind of aspect up and fantasizing and sharing your fantasies. Communicate. We need to communicate. Communication is the bedrock to making your bedrock. You know,
okay.
You know, we need to be able to communicate with each other. What are our needs? You know, I love the way you do this, but can't we try something else? Our bodies are changing. We, as women, particularly, you know, it depends on where we are in the time of the month, if we're in menopause, where we are in the arousal arc. So it all changes, and we need to make adaptations so that we can all kind of be enjoying what we want. Because most people aren't having bad sex. They're just having boring, dull, repetitive sex. And that's what you have to say, I am fed up of. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to feel alive, and we are going to have the shared aliveness and reignite the erotic energy between us. And let's do that together by communicating, being creative, because creativity in the bedroom is so rewarding, and yet no one thinks of it like that. And then collaborating to get that. I'm actually bringing out a book, and it's on my sex equation, which is E equals MC cubed. Eroticism equals mindfulness, communication, creativity, and collaboration.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So, Nikki, I want to step into the headspace of the conservative, very meek, very timid kind of individual in that department. You know, somebody who, I mean, let's look at the African context. We are not as robust in conversation when it comes to sex, right? It is a personalized thing for the homestead. It's not a discussion. We're not trying to create an understanding, you know, for the most part. It's only newer generations who are willing to engage conversation concerning that. And so let's perhaps give them tips. You said be creative, but in an environment where you are called to be a conservative, creativity is very limited, you know. So maybe it's not going to be the wild things. Maybe it's the little nuances, right, that need to change. Perhaps help us there. What are some of the nuances that mom and dad who are in their late 50s from Togo can practice now that would reignite their connection?
Okay. So it's perhaps kind of sitting and doing something together, holding hands, kissing for longer than 6 seconds. You know, kissing somehow goes in long-term relationships. And I'm not talking about just that peck. I'm talking about proper, passionate kissing. And the thing about a long kiss, a proper kiss, it releases oxytocin. So if you can start kissing again, you awaken all different parts of your body and you bond. So that's just like a normal start. A 20-second hug also releases oxytocin. Maybe trying to have a bath together or a shower together. Maybe saying things that you've loved sharing in the last 20 years. What sparks something for you? What was hot for you? I mean, it's all about practice. Communication requires practice. So you don't have to start with, oh, this is what I want. You can say, I've changed. We've grown older. We're still together. But we're young enough to be together for a long time. What can we do that can kind of see us into this new way? Our kids are now grown up, perhaps moved out, have their own kids. So now we can find each other again. What should we do? What can we do together? And maybe even that, do a class together. Watch something together, but get invested, not separately completely. You know, that's the problem with just getting lost in our phones. Even looking into each other's eyes. Is anything resonating?
Absolutely. Nikki, I want to talk about insecurities.
Yes.
Right. I do think that part of the problem is an insecure state. You know,
yes.
If one is very secure in who they are and the other isn't, it does pose as a threat. Can we talk about the importance of assurance? Because there's another factor, which is aging, right? And women care more about aging than men do, you know, and so you start feeling like your lumps and your bumps are not as attractive, so I'm not attractive. So maybe we shouldn't engage in intimacy like that. You know, maybe I can just give you a peck on the cheek and we can move on with life, because I don't feel like I carry the necessary sex appeal to attract you. And so perhaps let's address that state, the state of insecurity.
Okay. I love that because, you know, I do a lot of talks for menopausal women, perimenopausal and menopausal women whose bodies have changed, who kind of often don't even recognize themselves anymore. And I say you have to focus not so much on what your body looks like, but what your body makes you feel like. And I do think one thing about aging, you realize that this is the one and only body we have. And that at some point we have to accept that this is me, and I can't do more than what I've got, but I can feel, and I can feel pleasure, and I'm entitled to pleasure, and this body can give me pleasure. And so I think in loving partnerships, we obviously worry, do you still find me attractive? Am I still attractive? And I think reassurance isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistency, connection, curiosity. Reassure them that you love them, that you notice their efforts. Touch them, not only when it's sexual, because that's often a problem, is that, particularly with women, is that we feel we never touched when it's not for a sexual reason. So rather touch affectionately, not necessarily only sexually, and open up that door that sexuality can still arrive through. Saying I love you, showing that you love them through micro moments, eye contact, instead of scrolling when they're talking. Relationship gurus, the Gottmans, they have that love lab where they've actually kind of researched successful couples. And successful couples pay attention to each other. So it's like a ratio of 5 to 1. So that means like when they're talking, you listen. When they say, look, did you see our granddaughter do this? You say, oh, yes, or did you see the bird outside? Oh, yeah, I love the colors. So it's just hearing what your partner is saying, initiating affection, a kiss, a hug, a hand on the back, saying thank you for the small things. Remember something they said a few days ago. Just always knowing that that you matter and I choose you and I choose you over and over again. And all that pays relationship dividends and then pays into the bedroom. Because when we feel safe and seen and loved and connected, then we want to connect sexually because we feel safe.
And then lastly, Nikki, I think for the most part, there's an assumption that women are the only individuals who are insecure, right? Because we will want to express this, maybe not to our partners, but to our friends, to our family, in the way we carry ourselves. Whereas with men, you won't receive that level or that caliber of expression. And so let's talk about men. Do they get insecure about intimacy? Apart from general health problems, are they issues of insecurity that maybe women should be on the lookout for when it comes to interacting with men?
Yeah, the thing is, insecurity, is for both men and women. I think men feel different in a different way. Particularly as they age, they can worry about performance, relevance. Obviously, when we think sex is penetration, and the penis is the main star of the show, and then as they age and it doesn't perform as well, their bodies change and their erections might not be as strong or as reliable, and recovery takes longer, then they often have this like unspoken pressure to always be ready and always be virile, and that's like a heavy, heavy expectation to live under. And then they often withdraw because they're too ashamed to say, am I letting you down? But actually, remember, a woman's desire, a woman's pleasure does not come from a man's penis mainly. It comes from our clitoris. So if we could have this open communication, we can share where our pleasure comes from, then it takes the pressure off the man, and we can find other ways to get pleasure and other ways to fuel our pleasure. So it's helpful to remember that we're not the only ones changing. We both need to feel desired, valued, and safe to stay connected. And I think it's very important. That's why often men are the ones who have to always initiate. And that's quite a heavy role to have to bear all the time, to always be the one who's putting themselves out there for rejection. So I think we need to be human. We need to sometimes put ourselves in our partner's feet and say, and share it with each other. this is how I feel. How do you feel? Keeping that communication open. And it's a muscle that we just need to practice to work on, because it's not easy to sexually communicate. But if we can do it in the bedroom, you can communicate anywhere.
Absolutely. Nikki, we will leave things there. Of course, for those who are interested, they'll head over to your platforms, your website, Instagram, and definitely ask Nikki, because you have all the info.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. I've so enjoyed this conversation. I hope you have too.
We are educated, inspired, and in all honesty, this was a beautiful one. The voice there of sex coach and relationship expert, that is Nikki Breivik, joining us this evening. It is 20 minutes to midnight in Central African time. I promised you date ideas, and that is what will be coming your way shortly.
Love music, love culture, love life. Because you on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Look what the hot body can do. Look what the hot body can do. Body be dancing, slow wine, so my body so fine. Like Bosch, when I made her inside. 2 1, and I made her inside. Make sense, oh, make sense. Oh my God, I need resistance. Fragrance, only from a distance. Make sense, oh, make sense. Body be dancing, controller, controller. I get in both for my holder. Make your body slow when I slow down. Put it on the low, no go loud down. You know the things I wanna do tonight. Unusual. Put it down, make it take away your peace of mind. You go flow like water, we get the freeze up like open your eyes and look. Look what the hot body can do. Look what the hot body can do. Body be dancing, slow wine, so my body so fine. Like Bosch, when I made her inside. 2 1, and I made her inside. Make sense, oh, make sense. Oh my God, I need resistance. Fragrance, only from a distance. Make sense, oh, make sense. Body be look. Look what the hot body can do. I said, baby, look what the hot body can do.
Love music, love culture, love life. Because you on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It is 17 minutes before the show comes to an end, and it is time for those date ideas. A much anticipated conversation that we want to have with Scott Villa, the co-founder of Brunch on Sunday, one of the exciting brands redefining how we can experience love, lifestyle, and connection through curated social events. If you're saying to yourself, Shayla, why date ideas? Listen, we're trying to move away from movie night, okay, and then dinner. Every week. It's you every week, the same place, the same time. We want to change that. We want to give you exciting ways to reignite your love and experience your partner. And of course, build those bonds, those memories, those things that will last longer than you and your partner combined. Mr. Scott, listen, it has been a tedious one, but thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to African Diaries. Mr. Scott, are you with us? We are still trying to get a hold of Mr. Scott. We will be back in a short bit. My question to you this evening still remains. What are some of the ideas that you get up to? Listen, I'm here with my pen, with my paper. The name of this show is African Diaries. And so we take a moment to gauge, to suss, to experience ideas. And I want to do that because Shayla might be bait up next week, Tuesday. Who knows? Who knows? Mr. Scott, are you with us? Mr. Scott? We are still trying to get a hold of Mr. Scott. Again, send through your ideas, +27 6340 69126. In actual fact, what I do want to run with you is a quiz, right? I want to gauge how much you know. Okay? And these are not questions that are necessarily the most factual based conversation, because preference is a real thing. And so it's going to be a true or false. I do have a TikTok audience here, and the idea is that they will engage me as well. You perhaps are watching and saying, Shayla, how do I engage you? Head over to YouTube. We are currently streaming live. Send through your answers there, and let's see how much you get out of 10. Okay, there are things you're going to try and argue me about, but listen, I'm here for it. DM me, find me on WhatsApp, +27 6340 69126. Question number 1, true or false? The more expensive the date is, the more memorable it is. Again, question number 1, the more expensive a date is, the more memorable it is. I will wait for your answers. In actual fact, I'll give you 15 minutes and we will count you 15 seconds, not 15 minutes. We don't have that much time. And the idea is I want to see how much you get out of 10, because also this will allow you to gauge your thinking around dates, around date nights. That question one more time, true or false? The more expensive a date is, the more memorable it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you say true, then I've got some questions, because it is false. Emotional connection, effort, and creativity matter far more than the price tag. And it is about whether the person had you in mind when they curated the experience. Don't you think? Question number 2, true or false? Planning a date in advance shows more love than being spontaneous. Again, planning a date in advance shows more love than being spontaneous. I see here that Far Sale says that it is false. I'd love to hear from you this evening. You can find us on our YouTube live stream. Head over to YouTube, look for the channel Africa, or rather the page Channel Africa, and then you head over to the live stream and you should be seeing African Diaries, and you can send through your commentary there. Again, that question number 2, planning a date in advance shows more love than being spontaneous. Again, false. And so it is false, because you can show love through planning a date, but you planning doesn't mean that you care for the person, right? Being spontaneous means that you've had this person in mind and you'd like to share this moment with this person in mind. The very last question I'm going to ask you real quick. Doing something new together releases feel-good hormones that reignite passion. True or false? I'm going to be quick with this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. True. Novelty triggers dopamine, helping couples feel that in love rush. And I see that Far Sale was with us, and I see that Non Sindiso was also saying true over there. Well done to you folks. It's time for us to get back into that conversation. You were looking for date ideas. You're saying, Shayla, listen, I want to do something new. I want to do something spontaneous. My partner and I are tired of taking a walk in the park and then going to that one restaurant and then eating food and then going home and then getting intimate. We want something different. Well, we are joined today by somebody who understands the necessity for difference. That is Scott Villa, the co-founder of Brunch on Sunday, one of the exciting brands redefining how we experience love, lifestyle, and connection through curated social events. Mr. Scott, finally, how are you?
Hi, Sheila. I'm good. And how are you?
I am fantastic. Let's get finally. It's been a very interesting day. Listen, on all ends, but we're glad to have you here. Let's talk about reigniting love, right? So many couples today are looking for ways to reconnect beyond the typical dinner. You know, you don't want to sit, you don't want to go for that movie. You know, the casual rom-com thing that we were so accustomed to learning to do. You take her out on a date, you share popcorn, and then you go to the dinners, and it's all fancy, schmancy, and everybody's feeling nice and cute. You know, you have a little bit of a drinky drink, and then it's time for being intimate. We want to avoid that. What are some of the new creative ways that one can pursue with their partner?
I think in essence, the more creative ways of doing something fun with your partner is through a food experience, a food and drink experience, in a sense, just learning what your partner likes, what type of drinks she likes during the day, leading on to the night, which is what we define as a brunch on Sunday concept, you know, where you get to taste different foods, you get to taste different drinks, you know, you find out what your partner likes in essence, you know, more than anything. It's just an experience that's different, more than just getting to the intimate part of things, but just how to conversate, you know, during those experiences when you're having that moment with your partner. So that's very crucial and important.
Absolutely. Scott, before we get into brunch on Sunday, which is a concept that we will unpack, I want to talk about some of the other trends that we are seeing. We're seeing stargazing, picnics, outdoor movie nights, farm-to-table dining. These all alluding to what it is you were saying, conversing, getting to know your partner more. I know that adrenaline is also part and parcel of this new trend. What are some of the things that people are doing that brings about an excitement and honestly connects them to their partner through that adrenaline rush?
Yeah, that's true. Most basically, you can think about, you know, I'll keep it basic. You can do your normal bowling, which is, you know, an activity that engages you more than just sitting on a table and just finding out, you know, what your partner likes. You know, what's your favorite color? What's your more of, you know, the engaging activities, like you're saying, adrenaline activities, which could be bowling, which could be quad biking. Some of those activities are more physical in a way, you know, that could bring more engagement into how you're trying to know the person or your partner.
Scott, one other element of getting to know your partner is the pockets, right? The money, Scott. The money, it's very important. Is it a necessity to always go all out? And by that, I mean your pocket is stretching further than you had anticipated just to bring about an experience that is worth the while. And I'm asking this because some people believe that. You know, some people believe, listen, if you said that we are going to go bowling and then we go and have ice cream, I'm just like, that was a cheap shot at me. That's just not it, you know? And so let's talk about the consideration of the pocket. And I want to ask you this twofold. Firstly, as an individual who helps people experience curated social events that helps them reconnect, but also as a gent, okay? As the one who's asking the girlie out. Let's talk about those pockets.
I think it's important as a male not to be on a budget, especially on the first date. That's very important, not to budget for a date, because if you're trying to impress a lady, you shouldn't be on a budget, especially for the first time. And, you know, in some sense, males typically are the ones that approach females, you know, just to go out, just to do those activities. So the pocket from a male's perspective is very important, and do not budget for things. I think that will keep things very smooth.
Yeah.
And, you know, it would make things very, not awkward, you know, in a sense, So I would say the pocket is very important.
Yes.
But don't be on a budget.
That is
Especially if you're
fair.
trying to impress.
That is exceptionally well answered, and I do believe that that's fair. I do know that there is a school of thought around gentlemen that say that, listen, it's not about the money. We're live on TikTok currently, and Alfie's saying it's not about the money but the experience, and so there are some who believe that my brother, it need not be that hectic. But because we are pressed for time, we're not going to dive deeper into that. Let's talk about brunch on Sunday. Walk us through the concept.
So Brunch on Sundays was basically started in 2022, a concept that was developed on a daytime experience. I work in the events industry, which is mostly nighttime. So I just thought of a concept where I could gather some of my people that would enjoy, a daytime experience. And Brunch on Sundays is an entity that is focused on providing the perfect daytime experience for ladies. And we cater mostly to ladies, which is 80% ladies, 20% guys. So when the guys walk into a venue and they're seeing beautiful ladies, they get impressed, in a sense. So Brunch on Sundays was very curated around that, centered around that. We do provide a chef's table, which we call also a harvest table, which we do from 12 till 2, where you pay a certain amount of money to get unlimited food and unlimited drinks. And we do pair it up with a live act, which is what we do, is we do a live band element with an artist of the customer's choice or our choice, in a sense. We do find out from our customers which artists they would like to see on the next Brunch on Sundays, and then we curate it together. The event starts from 12 until 10 p.m.
And here I was thinking I must pay up before the next event. Listen, Scott, you have spoken to me nicely. You honestly have. Lastly, Scott, for those who are saying, listen, this sounds exciting. I am around Johannesburg. I'd love to experience this. Where do they find you? And when is the next event?
Okay, so our social media handles are, we are on Instagram. We are at Brunch on Sundays JHB. That is on Instagram and on TikTok, which is Brunch on Sundays JHB. And the next event will be taking place on the 7th of December, which is going to be our last and final event, which is the most exciting event, which is basically the closing off party that is bigger than the other events.
Yeah.
So 7th December, we will reveal the venue, which we are working on a new venue at the moment, but everything has been confirmed. So on the 7th December, just make sure that people follow us on our socials just to see what we're up to and our latest updates.
It's also enough time for us to try and sneak in a potential summer body. So this is great. This is fantastic, Scott. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. All the best with that event on the 7th. We cannot wait to see it be a success. And thank you for the date ideas as well.
Definitely. Definitely consider Brunch on Sundays as your first date. It will definitely be a treat.
Oh, absolutely. The voice there of Scott Villa joining us this evening. He was talking to us about, firstly, just date ideas, exploring outside our comfort zones. And then we spoke about Brunch on Sunday. From the team and I, it has been an absolute pleasure. 2 minutes before the show comes to an end. But before we do say goodbye, I understand that Morris Touch is on the line. Morris, good evening.
Good evening, Shayla. How are you doing?
I am great. Morris, I'm going to be going on the 7th of December, and I'm going to be going on my first date at Brunch on Sunday. Okay?
Brunch on Sunday.
Absolutely. I'm telling you now, Morris.
I'm actually trying to look them up.
Please, I am going, and I'm going to look very cutesy, mindful, thoughtful, demure. Okay?
As always.
As it should be, Morris. As it should be. talking all these relationships today, looking for exciting ideas on how to spark our relationship, especially if it's been long term. You've been dating, married for 15 years, and you do the same thing every single day.
Over and over.
You know, so you want to change and spice things up. And so we were spicing things up, firstly, in the dating pool, that is your interaction on experiences. And then we also got into the bedroom, which was very interesting with Ask Nikki. She's also on social media. If you're looking to try and understand what she was talking about. She is a sex coach and a relationship expert. That was the show, Morris. What can we expect on the Afro Republic?
Hey, man. Always expecting the very best from your show, man. Always full of surprises. Beautiful surprises, that is. Afro Republic, we are on the go. And I can tell you that my producer tells me that last week we came up with a very different feature, very exciting. I'm the one who usually throws questions at these guys. And then they said, you know what? Let us fire back. Let us ask you questions in line with the music that you play. So I'm looking forward to that. Black has put together quite a number of questions. You can also come through and play the game with me as well. That's one feature to look forward to. And as the show progresses, it's all about good music and the very best of the African continent. I can also tell you that the connection point does come through at 10 minutes before 3 o'clock. Otherwise, it's a journey of great music and everything that makes the continent of Africa shine.
And we cannot wait for that. It is midnight, a new dawn, a new day, the 9th of October 2025. From the team and I, with Divi and Elaine on digital, Dumelo on production, or rather technical production, and Nolo Bebedzi Matlaila on content production. The name is Shayla Ndikumana. We salute you, bid you farewell, and until later on today, cheers.